Onyx, yes, we want to go for Arisa for that. Oh god, Wonderbread Man. I feel like I already told the story about Wonderbread Man, because he contacted me, and he made it... And after he contacted me, I was like, I don't think I want to do a video on this guy. This won't end well. Have you guys not heard? Okay. Yeah, basically, a while back, I put out a poll for, like, what ship video I should do next. And, not ship video. What, when posting goes wrong, I should do next. Okay. I'll back up to the beginning so that everyone who doesn't have context knows what we're talking about. Wonderbread guy is an infamous person. I don't know what specific word I would use for him. He's a dude who is infamous for going on Deviantart mostly, and I think he did this on Tumblr a little bit as well, and commissioning artists to draw highly specific fetish art of various characters. The thing that made him infamous is that all of his fetishes are so weird and specific that they're extremely confusing. What he always asks for is, female characters, usually they have to be, like, some kind of rich girl, typically blonde and white, with, like, really big boobs, but, like, rich girls are, like, the main thing. And he always wants them drawn. So he gets his name because he always asks to have them drawn, shopping for Wonderbread. Like, going in the store, buying, like, huge amounts of, like, really overpriced Wonderbread. Like, that's one of the things he specifies, is that, like, you have to be able to see the price tags on the shelves, and the Wonderbread has to be really expensive. So, like, one of the things they do is that, like, so they have to be shopping for Wonderbread, they have to be destroying the environment, is another one. A common one for him to ask for is, like, one of these women, like, deforesting, like, cutting down a bunch of trees with a chainsaw. Chainsaws come up a lot. It's always in, like, he always wants it to look like, yeah, the deforestation kink. It always ends up looking like, do you guys know the part of the Lorax where, like, after the Onceler has taken over and he's, like, chopped down all the Truffula trees? Like, that's the kind of landscape he always draws them in. Like, they just cut down the last Truffula tree. Yeah, there's, like, a few characters who he always... So, like, sometimes it's an OC, just, like, a generic, like, kind of bimbo-looking character. Like, bimbo fetish. I'm not using that, like, derogatorily. But, I think when he asks for fan art, a lot of times it's Asami from Legend of Korra. Yeah, and then the other one is Pacifica Northwest from Gravity Falls. But anyway, so the most common... So he asks all of these artists to do fan art for him. And he's become very, very infamous. For obvious reasons. Now, part of why he's infamous is because he is kind of, like, famously hard to work with. Because, like... I forget what specifically he did. He's like a shitty, like, commissioner. Like, he kind of gives people the runaround, you know? He's, like, rude to his artists and shit. Like, he is a bad dude. You don't, like, even if you can draw the shit that he wants you to draw, like, you don't want to work with him. It's not worth it. But, like, you know, enough artists need the money that he has been able to get a lot of commissions. But because he's so shitty, and because his fetishes are so weird, he's become a bit of an internet curiosity, right? And so, because this story is so infamous, I decided I put it in the poll for what, when posting goes wrong, I should do. Now, it did not win, thankfully. Had it won, I might have picked the second option. Because what happened was, when I posted the poll, someone contacted him. Like, one of his buddies saw it, or he saw it. I don't know how it happened, but he somehow learned that I was thinking about making a video about him. What I found out after this is that Wonderbread guy has very much leaned into his status as, like, a weird dude on the internet. Basically, what he has done is, after he realized, like, okay, because if you guys know about Kiwi Farms, that's the website where people document quote-unquote lol cows. It's kind of infamous for being transphobic, so I don't go there very often, but every so often, there are some people that, like, if you need very thorough research done on a weird subject, or not a weird subject, if you need, like, very thorough research done on weird internet shit, that's the place to go, basically. Anyway, Kiwi Farms started a thread on him for obvious reasons, and he showed up in the thread, and he did, like, a Q&A with them. Graveler, yeah. He did, like, a Q&A on Kiwi Farms. And, he did answer a lot of the questions that people have about, like, I think he said at some point that, like, he was really attracted to some, I think it was like a Captain Planet villain when he was a kid, and that's where this all comes from, I think. He couldn't give a good explanation for the Wonderbread thing, though. I read through a lot of this thread, more so than I probably should have. Anyway, so he had done this Q&A on Kiwi Farms. And then on top of that, he had actually done interviews with a bunch of, like, smaller YouTubers. And so after I put this poll up, he contacted me and was like, hey, like, I heard you might be making a video about me. Would you want to, like, ask me anything? And what I realized about this dude when he reached out to me is that this guy, this wasn't an example of posting going wrong. This was an example of posting going right. It was a guy who, like, I mean, here's the thing. Like, I think in order to commission that amount of weird fetish art and attach your name to it, you can't have a lot of shame. And so, like, being infamous for him is the same as being famous. Like, having all of these people freak out over what, like, a weird degenerate he is, like, to him, like, that's fine, because, like, it's just, that just means he's getting attention, which he would not be getting otherwise. I also, like, did some research into, like, because people have doxed him, of course, and based on what I could find, like, his real life is, like, very sad. Like, the dude has had a really rough life. I think he has some, like, pretty serious problems that prevent him from, like, getting a lot of stability, which is just very unfortunate. So I think he doesn't have a whole lot outside of, the, sort of minor internet fame he's achieved. And so, yeah, I think so, basically, I didn't want to make the video about him because I realized that, like, that would probably help him more than it would hurt him. And because he's known for being, like, such a shitty commissioner and, like, generally not someone you want to associate with. Because, like, here's the thing. Like, I don't care if you have a weird fetish. Like, that's not the problem here. The problem isn't that he has a weird, fucked up fetish. The problem is that he's an asshole. And so I don't want to, like... I don't want to give him what he wants, basically. More Mankeys. Oh yeah, and as a final note, one of the things that he is the most infamous for is that he tried to commission Shadman, and Shadman said no to him. Which, like, the joke everyone makes about that is, like, how fucked up do your tastes have to be for you to get turned down by Shadman? What's interesting is that I looked into that. Shadman basically said, like, which, okay, by the way, I don't like Shadman. I think he's a... What's the correct word to use here? Very, very bad person. I don't know if he's, like, actually a pedo, but he's, like, a little too comfortable, like, jokingly acting like a pedo. I'll say that much. Shadman is a porn artist who's infamous for drawing, like, he draws, like, intentionally offensive shit, basically. Like, the whole thing is, like, any like, horrible, fucked up thing you can think of, Shadman has drawn it, basically. That's his whole, that's his gimmick, basically. Okay. Anyway, yeah, he's a bad dude. But the joke is that, like, he'll draw any sort of, like, horrific, fucked up thing imaginable, but he refused to draw this guy's weird Wonderbread shit, right? So this became the whole joke, is like, oh, he's, like, too fucked up even for Shadman. Shadman's explanation for why he turned down the commission was because, like, when he had it explained to him, he didn't understand how it could be sexy. Like, his logic was like, I draw porn, so why are you asking me to commission something so decidedly unsexy? Like, I forget, like, it was, okay, the stuff he was asking Shadman for, I don't want to, like, describe it in detail, because I want to save you all the trouble. But it was, like, more, like, explicit than the other shit he does. It was, like, actual porn, but it was not sexy at all. Like, I really don't want to, like, inflict this on you. All you need to know is it was, like, weirdly... It was, like, weirdly unsexy porn. And Shadman was like, this shouldn't qualify as porn. I can't do this. If you really care, you can go to the Kiwi Farms thread and find out for yourselves. So yeah, that's Wonderbread, dude. And that's why I won't make a video on him.